I received a rather particular request on a video topic, which is for the young people who are finishing school, finishing university, who are now setting out to make a life for themselves. In recent years, it's become more and more challenging to get up off of your parents' support, to get on your own 2 feet, to be able to live on your own, to be able to be independent financially. And despite this, there's still a culture of expectation that you're at a certain age, you finished school, you have a job. Why are you still living with your parents? Why are you not yet independent? Why do you still have 3 or 4 housemates? Why don't you have your own place by now? Why aren't you married with kids? And a lot of people are going to relate to this, because this has now become a very common experience. Doesn't matter which country you're in. For most people, the ability to be financially independent seems impossible. It seems like it's completely out of reach for us. It seems like there is absolutely no way that I can create the life that I want with the opportunities that are available to me. It doesn't matter that I'm smart. It doesn't matter that I'm a hard worker. It doesn't matter that I can even get apparently a decent job. It still doesn't pay enough. The cost of living is too high. I can't afford a good life. And along with that, there's all this social pressure that we should be having a good life. We should be settling down in our own homes. We should be getting married. We should be having children. But we're seeing a global trend of declining birth rates because people are deciding to wait before having kids because they can't afford it, or for a lot of people, they want to do it when they're older, when they're in a better position, and then sometimes that better position never happens. I am going to be turning 30 next year. I don't have kids. It's not because I don't want a child. It's because if I were to have one now, I would not be able to give them the life that I want to. So it's a very common trend of we're all making all of these decisions based on the fact that we are rather restricted in terms of our opportunities. So, okay, yes, the economy is not supportive of people on a general level. Every single person should have a good life just because they're alive, and that's what they should have, because that's what we want for ourselves, and therefore that's what we want for each other. However, that's not the world that we've created. That's not the world that we continue to create within how we participate in it. So how do we deal with this oppressive, repressive, stifling position that so many of us find ourselves in? Well, I'm not going to go into the whole spiel of work hard, work 2 jobs, do all that stuff. We all know that. Sure, we can spend the rest of our lives working 12 hours a day trying to build a good life. But realistically, for a lot of people, even though we work so many hours, it's not enough. We don't make enough. The cost of living is too high. So we're not even going to go there. What I'm going to focus on is, how do you deal with that emotional experience of, I'm stuck and I can't do anything about it. There's nothing that I can move towards. There's nothing that I can create. There's nowhere I can go. It's a dead end. That is the particular experience that so many of us may find ourselves in or have gone through. So what I realized at one point is that within this position I found myself in, within this position that I was in, I had almost given up within myself. I'd almost already made the decision that there was no point in even trying to create the life that I wanted, because I would fail. I did not have the ability, nor the resources, nor the opportunity to obtain the resources in order to create that life that I wanted. So I might as well just give up. And that is how I was living. And one day I looked at myself, and I looked at my life, and I looked at the choices that I was making and who I was within all of this. And I realized that, holy moly, I am the one who's actually oppressing myself. I'm the one who's making myself stuck despite whatever position I might be in. I'm the one who's actually really creating that within myself. And that's the reality that I was living in every level. So I started a process of, how can I empower myself to be the directive principle, to be the creative force of my life within whatever circumstances I am in. So it doesn't matter if I'm living in someone's basement, or if I have my own home, or if I'm living with my parents. It doesn't matter. I can do the best that I am able to in that moment with what I have to create a life that I'm satisfied with, to be the person I want to be. And that was a matter of, okay, yes, I had to make sure that that self-oppression pattern wasn't triggering and playing out the whole time. So that was a practice of awareness of, am I oppressing myself? Am I actually seeing potential opportunities that may be there, or am I already giving up before I've even started? And I had to practice looking at things differently. I had to practice creating a perspective and a starting point and a vision of opportunity, rather than of stuckness, of going nowhere. And within that, I started also to realize that I didn't necessarily know what it was that I wanted that would create a fulfillment for me. So as I walked this process, I started deciding, okay, I better figure out what it is that I want in this life. I better figure out what it is actually going to take to make me feel fulfilled. And that's an ongoing process. That's something I'm still discovering about myself. But I started to realize, okay, this is something that I already do that is fulfilling for me. I just need to change the way that I've been seeing it. Instead of it being a burden, I need to see it as an opportunity for me to fulfill myself, to contribute something good to the world, to whatever it is. And that was one thing that I did. And another thing was, I have spare time that I've been using in ways that, you know what, I'm wasting my time. I'm doing stuff that I don't even like, that I don't need to do. Why am I doing this stuff? Let me see what I can do instead of all of these things. What can I do to contribute more towards my goals, some developing myself in a skill, whatever it is. And that really took a long, hard look in the mirror for me to see that I was wasting opportunities. And all of this doesn't change the reality of whatever circumstances we're in, but it does change how we experience it. It does change who we are. And it gives us the opportunity to see opportunities where before we might have seen a closed door. It doesn't mean that that opportunity is going to lead to financial freedom, but it might lead to something else. And you know what? The more we live life, the more apparent it is that money doesn't matter. What matters is who we are, the relationships we have, the people we meet, what we're bringing into this world, what we're contributing. That's what matters. And that's where I want to put my focus. And how can I be part of creating something better in my relationships, with the animals in my care, with the people I influence with my videos, with the people I meet. And that's they're part of my opportunities now. And yeah, so I hope that this does answer your question, to the person who asked that question. If there are any aspects that I did miss, then let me know, and I'll do another video to cover them. Otherwise, everyone, thank you very much for watching, and you're going to see me next time.